presents this program in color.
Hold it. I think you're going to like this picture.
I hope so. Ready? Ready? Let's go.
Ready? Go.
Here's Mac Murphy. He's the man of the family more. Here's Mac Murphy.
Busy today. Very busy.
On the score. Well, he's never been in a press box.
Never been in a press box. How you doing, everybody? Murph with you from now until 2 o'clock. We're just a couple minutes away from the man with the numbers, John DeWine, Stat of the Week. We're just a few minutes away from What's Your Beef coming up. Oh, about 15, 20 minutes from now. But how about those Blackhawks? We'll have Rocky Wirtz visiting with us also this hour.
A long shot by Bertuzzi, blocked. And the Hawks clear it out to Paulson. 8 seconds. Paulson ahead for Bufflin for the empty net. And the Hawks are into the second round. Dustin Bufflin, who adds to his 2 assists earlier with an empty netter. And the Chicago Blackhawks, for the first time in over a decade, will move on.
Waving a red towel around the condo last night. The man with the numbers, we got Rocky Wirtz, got What's Your Beef, Cubs and Sox. Lots to do today. Murph, driven to you by ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Numbers are like your brother-in-law. They lie if they need to.
Numbers don't lie. Well, maybe they do.
John DeWine, Stat of the Week.
Yeah, those numbers are a little screwed, too, because skewed, rather, not screwed.
Numbers, unlike children, don't lie.
Not a stat guy. Save that for John DeWine.
John DeWine, Murph has made famous over the years.
He's famous in his own right. Celebrity line ringing. Welcome to the machine. Let's punch it up. The man with the machines, the computers, the numbers, and he does a lot of it just right there in his head, all by himself. Hello, John DeWine.
Hey, Murph, congratulations to the Chicago Blackhawks. On through to the second round. Plus-minus leaders, the Jonathan Taves +3 and Duncan Keith +3 in the first round.
Oh, man, I love it. John DeWine, it's been a long time coming for our Blackhawks to advance into the playoffs. One round now, going to be playing Vancouver. You know, you're too young to remember way back in the early 60s with guys like Makita, Bobby Hull. You're too young to remember them, John.
Oh, no, that was my heyday, Murph. I thought when you went to a Blackhawk game, you had to stand. That was my, that's how I went to Blackhawk games.
And their first playoff success since 1996. Rocky Wirtz going to join us in a few minutes, but we always have time for the numbers. John DeWine, we have a lot on the table with you every week. I know you got probably about a half hour of material, but where do we start first?
Well, over the weekend, Lou Piniella experimented one more time, and I hope it's the last time ever. He tried to put Alfonso Soriano somewhere else but leadoff.
Well, he did. He moved him to number 3, and, you know, a lot of fans like me have been waiting for this, but I think it only lasted 2 days, right, John?
It lasted 2 days. Let me give you the numbers since Alfonso has been with the Cubs, all right? So the Cubs have been a .560 team, percentage-wise.
Not bad.
Since 2007 when Soriano joined the club. All right, so good team, .560, excellent ball.
Right.
When Alfonso Soriano does not play, the Cubs have been 41-42. So when he's not in the lineup, he's injured. The Cubs are a .500 team in that time frame.
Right.
All right. So it shows that Soriano is an effective player. All right. Now let's look at him when he's batting leadoff. Let's look at the Cubs when he's batting leadoff.
All right.
And when he's not batting leadoff. We'll start with not batting leadoff.
Not batting leadoff, but in the game. Okay.
In the game.
Right.
All right. Twice he batted second, 9 times he batted third, and twice he batted fifth. Cubs in that time frame, in those 13 games, 4-9, 308 winning percentage.
Not quite as hot as the .560 overall.
Not quite as hot. And Soriano in those games, 6 for 53, a 113 batting average with 0 home runs.
No home runs in the 2-3-5 hole, hitting a .113. Wow.
So the Cubs are a 300 ball club when he doesn't bat, when he bats other than leadoff. When he bats leadoff, Murph, they're a 600 ball club.
That's pretty good.
146 and 99. He's hitting exactly 300.
No.
with 68 home runs and about 1,053 at-bats. That's about 39 homers per season when he bats leadoff. So, I don't know. I think the book is closed on this one, Murph.
Well, here's the thing. Lou opened a book on Friday, and then he closed the book on Sunday, and he told the reporters, if I can paraphrase, this will never happen again. He's my leadoff guy forever.
I think, it's probably just on Soriano's head, and that's where it is, and that's all there is. Let's just leave it like that,
6 for 53, 113. 53 at-bats, would you call that in your business a small sample size, a medium sample size? How would you look at that?
It's a small to medium sample size, but it's still, it's worse than a pitcher. Pitchers hit about 135, 140 overall. He's hitting 113.
So it's in his head.
It's in his head, Murph.
Now,
it's in his head. We're not going to get rid of it. Let's just enjoy him batting leadoff.
Then... Okay, as I think I will now reiterate from a week ago, it's John DeWan. Visit John at statoftheweek.com. All the great publications, the great statistical analysis, computer systems you can punch into through statoftheweek.com. Bill James, the Bill James Handbook, John's famous fielding Bible, written about in Sports Illustrated a week ago. A lot of the GMs have that Bible right there on their desk. A few of them threw the book away, but about 28 kept it. Right, John?
I hope so, Murph.
Now, here's the thing. Hey, Jay Zawowski, where's my what-if bell? All right, here. Excuse me, John. What if Soriano, instead of going 1 for 8 on Friday and Saturday in the 3-hole, had gone 7 for 8? He would love it. He'd have a new lease on life. Mentally, he would go, this is for me. So much of this is mental, but the numbers do not lie.
I think so. If he had gone 7 for 8, maybe that'd be fine. Maybe he's worked himself out of his I got to bat leadoff, mentality. Yeah. But he hasn't, and so that's all there's to it.
All right, then. One follow-up. Last week, and I'll reiterate now, I said, okay, if I'm going to buy into Soriano leading off, I said, then let's do this. Why not bring your next best hitter, Aramis Ramirez, and bat him number 2. If one is great at number 1, then the other guy should be great at number 2. And you started laughing, I believe, as we said goodbye.
Well, it's the first lesson plan in the lineup construction theory class.
Ooh, yes, I love this.
That the top spots get the most plate appearances, and we went through that last week. But the second lesson plan is that the top 2 spots get the fewest RBI opportunities. So you want your best RBI men, as it has always been, batting third and fourth.
Is this the chicken or the egg? Because Soriano would be a great RBI man.
Exactly, if he could figure it out. Yeah, but he can't. So he's our leadoff man, and we got to get our best RBI men third and fourth, and a good on-base guy batting second. And the Cubs have exactly that, with Fukudomi batting second. So I really like the lineup for the Cubs. You
know what I love, John? After 17 years, a total of 19 over at Fan Talk down the dial, I believe a minute ago, you just, for the first time, went outside of the numbers, outside for a quick minute there. I think I hit your hot button. You said, but he can't do it. If he could go outside, he can't do it. And you know what? See, that's exactly it. The numbers say one thing, and you're right, but we also have to resign ourselves to the fact that mentally he wants to be number 1, so it's a done deal.
I think so. I think so.
Now, how about tonight? This would be Lou Pinella's opportunity, John DeWan, to have Zambrano one time not bat number 9. Because, they're saying Bradley may or may not be back tonight. Ramirez may or may not be back tonight. Derek Lee not available tonight. This would be perhaps the one time that you would say, you know what? This guy's a 300 hitter most of the time. I'm going to move Zambrano up around number 7, maybe Batterio number 8, and I would give Soto a few days off. Coy Hill number 9. The odds of Lou doing that tonight are 0.
Oh, 0. Coy Hill's hitting 318, and Terrio's hitting 314. I don't think you embarrass them by putting them behind Zambrano.
No, I'd like to see Zambrano right there one time tonight in the 7-hole, but I know better. It would be Soriano, Fukudome, Ramirez, Bradley, Hoffpower, Fontenot, Zambrano, Terrio, and the red-hot Coy Hill with the 5-game hitting streak in the 9-hole. Is John DeWan. Visit him at statoftheweek.com. Rocky Wirtz in a couple minutes. What's your beef? As always, coming up after that. John, give me one or two more nuggets, my friend, and then we'll make some room for Rocky Wirtz of the Blackhawks.
All right, Bulls plus minus on Sunday. Who do you think, and we've got this theme going, who do you think was the best plus minus player on the Bulls on Sunday?
Well, you know what? I know that Salmons had a rough first half, first three quarters. Then he came on, but Gordon was on fire. Man, you got me. John, I'm going to go long shot here with, it's not Salmons, it's not Noah. He had a couple, I got to go Gordon.
All right, Gordon was number 2. He was plus 20, Murph.
Excellent.
Plus 20. But here is the unsung hero once again for the Bulls. Brad Miller.
Oh, boy.
Brad Miller played 24 minutes, and I'm going to give you each of his stints on the floor.
All right.
At the start of the second, he played, in the first quarter, he played 5 minutes. He was plus 2. Start of the second, he played 7 minutes, minus 1. So he's pretty even. Now, listen to this. End of the second, 3 minutes, plus 3. And the middle of the third, 3 minutes again, plus 5. Beginning of the fourth, 3 minutes, plus 2. End of the fourth. Key portion of the game.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the game for 2 minutes, Murph. The Bulls are plus 7.
Well, you know, and it's not just guy in the car might say, well, you know, he's matching up against the second team of the visitors. But when you point out he's in the game at the end of the first half and the end of the second half, then, you know, you can throw that theory out that he's only matching up against the second team.
And end of the first overtime, 1 minute plus 3. So plus 21 in 24 minutes of play. He didn't play that much because he was in such foul trouble, you know, and he fouled out. But he has been incredible, and I think it's both ends. I think his defensive presence, the big size, and, you know, that pick-and-roll offense with him in there is huge.
He's also the intimidator out there. He won't back down. It's our guy, John DeWan. Oh, hey, you got us. See Jack.com. My guys, Jack Phelan Chevrolet, home of the GM Total Confidence Package, the vehicle value protection, the payment protection plan, OnStar, the 100,000-mile powertrain 5-year warranty. Check it out at Jack Phelan Chevrolet. You got to see Jack.com. All right, John, before Rocky Wirtz and What's Your Beef, I hear your music in the background over at statoftheweek.com. What's your final nugget for us?
All right, which team has the better on-base percentage, the Cubs or the Sox?
Right now, it is the got to be the White Sox.
It is. I think the Cubs are going to win this one in the long run. But right now, the White Sox, they have a 343 on-base percentage to the Cubs 341. So they're both doing well.
Hey, John, great as always. We're going to make some room for some Blackhawk talk. We'll visit with you every Tuesday, if not more often, at statoftheweek.com. Thank you, John DeWan.
Good luck to Rocky Wirtz and the Blackhawks in the second round. I know he's coming on right after me.
You got it. Thanks, Johnson.
All righty. Bye now.
Appreciate it very much. Murph, driven to you by Chevy Drive Chicago.com. Celebrity line ringing. I've been waiting for this phone call. And I love that music. Let's punch it up. It is Rocky Wirtz, chairman of the Blackhawks. Mike Murphy on the score. Hello, Rocky.
Hey, Murph, how's it going?
Oh, fine. Are you kidding me? How's it going? A great night. Every Blackhawks fan in Chicago wants to echo my thoughts. Congratulations on a terrific so far year. Rocky, what a fun night. Last night I read in one of the gossip columns that you were not in town, but you were watching the game at a sort of interesting venue. Where the heck did you catch the game last night, may I ask?
Well, I'm down at a wine spirits wholesaler meeting. I'm in Orlando, Florida, and you'd never guess the name of the drinking establishment that I went to watch the game. It was called Murphy's Ale House.
Oh, you know what? Those Irish guys, they always have a way to put their name above the word ale house.
Well, you know, ale was like mouse tight, and Murphy's was quite large.
Well, you know what? I'm probably larger there than I am right here. It's Rocky Wirtz. Rocky, congratulations. What a great night last night. Since April of 1996, you're watching the game on TV like all the fans And let me ask you, that third period, I thought it was never going to end, didn't you?
Well, it was really exciting. I mean, you showed this great young team and how they just worked their, rear ends off, and Hobby Boolin stood on his head. It was exciting because you realize that those fans have embraced this team and how great it is. And, I just wish I could be at the United Center, and listen to those fans again, because I know everyone on their own TV set was screaming at home.
Saturday night, I was lucky enough to be out there with my wife. It was as loud as it's ever been. We had the red towels. Everybody was waving. Your marketing guy is always a step right there with everybody. And so let me ask you, do you wave the red towel when you're watching on TV or when you're at the game yourself? You got to get the red towel out, Rocky.
Well, I tell you one thing. It really, I'd like to say I do, but I don't. But I do cheer and clap, and I stood up the whole third period. I couldn't sit in my seat.
Rocky, Dale Talon has done a terrific job, as well as all your guys up and down the executive ranks, all the way down to your equipment manager, your trainers. It's been a terrific year. But Dale Talon, he had a plan. Sometimes things work out lucky. Sometimes things are all worked out in advance. But Dale Talon, he put it together.
Well, the nice thing is one of the key things that Dale wanted was to draft players and develop players that liked each other, and that you want to have integrity and honesty, and they have the same values. And in tough times, and when you're down 2 goals, or you're down in a series, or you're down in a period, that's when the integrity, and that's when these kids all want to work together just to win.
Rocky, I know you have a meeting there in a few minutes, but I recall back when at the Chicago Cubs, when John McDonough got his promotion to president, he sat there in front of the cameras and said, "We want to start talking World Series." Now, let me ask you, how high do we set the bar right now? I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm going to say Stanley Cup, because that's the ultimate goal, right?
Absolutely. If we ever try to achieve anything less than the ultimate goal, which is Stanley Cup, then we've cheated ourselves, our fans, and the city. And
one last thing. I know that occasionally at the end of the games at the United Center, I think I read this, you go down, you stand by what they call fandemonium, the great memorabilia and shirt, the jersey store in-house there, and you say hi to the fans. I think that's terrific. What is the number one thing the fans say when they see you outside there or walking around in the United Center?
Well, there's thank us for making the team relevant again, and thank us for bringing the team back.
Well, I echo that, as do all the Blackhawk fans listening right now. Travel safely, travel back, and we're looking forward to the second round. Blackhawk hockey into May, maybe all the way into June. What do you say?
You know what? Why not? You got to dream big and think big.
Rocky, thanks for your time. I know you're on a busy schedule. We'll see you more leisurely next time.
Thanks, Murph. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Rocky Wirtz.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's Murph Sports Radio 670. All right. What's your beef? Fire it up. 644-6767. Think about, maybe there are no beefs. Maybe there's nothing to beef about. Maybe things are going pretty well. Yeah, that'll be the day. What's your beef next, my friends at Brown's? The best beefs from you? I'll send you over to the best beefs in town at Brown's Italian Beefs for lunch. It pays better.
What's your beef, scoreheads? Murph is waiting to hear from you. The beef lines are now open at 312-644-6767. Only on WSCR. The Score.
Where's your beef? Where's your beef? That was a flashback, is what that was. Where's the beef? As opposed to what's your beef, which is what Murph's actual segment is.
Huh?
Hit him up! Move him out!
We want to know what's bothering you in the world of sports. Give Murph a call at 312-644-6767. That's 312-644-6767. And tell him what's beefing you in the world of sports. What's Your Beef is brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering and BrownsChicken.com.
Time for Browns. How do I know that? It's lunchtime. Hey, dinner time. It's always time for Browns. It tastes better. What's your beef, my friends at BrownsChicken.com, to find the Browns location nearest you. Let's get to the phone lines and see what, by the way, we have plenty of Cubs and Sox, more Blackhawks, Bulls talk coming up between now and 2, but we've got from the Car Phone Patrol, Monkey Stew. What's your beef, Monkey Stew?
Hey, Murph, how you been, buddy?
I always love when someone stew. I can go, what's your beef stew? What's your beef stew, monkey?
Right. My nickname's Monkey. Anyway, my beef, Murph, is everybody picking on Ben Gordon. If he didn't make that three-point shot, this series would have been over.
You know what? Why does everyone have to pick on everybody, it seems like? You know what? The guy is doing what he does. You know what?
He's not good, too. He doesn't play defense, but those shots, Murph, those shots.
I know. You know what? I'm going to just be happy with this guy. He nails the three-pointer that only a guy named you-know-who, number 23, could dream about doing. And you know what? I'm going to be happy and see what happens here. They might even have to shut him down tonight. Brian Hanley's report from a little earlier. But you know what? The kid was unconscious on that shot.
You got it, Murph. You got it.
Monkey Stew. Thank you, buddy.
You're welcome, Murph.
Appreciate it, Monkey Stew. Let's go next to Schaumburg. Don on the score. Hello, Don.
Hey, Murph, how are you today?
Fine. What's your beef?
My beef is with Major League Baseball broadcasts, or telecasts, rather. They got very often during a game, you get a runner on first. You got that great camera angle with the pitcher, the batter, and the man on first. Yeah. They leave you sitting there just before the pitch time. They go back to that stinking center field shot. You don't see the runner take off. You don't see the move to first.
You don't see nothing.
You don't see nothing. And I finally realized, Murph, why they do that.
Why?
It's the old man Sullivan principle. It's about the money. You got to see that electronic advertising behind home plate on every pitch. There's a contract. It's all about the money, Murph. We miss the great plays at first because it's about the money.
I love it. Hang on, Don. I'm going to go send you to visit my friends at Browns. Nicely done. Nicely done. You got it. Old man Stalzer lived down the street from me when I was a kid. Young man, it's always about the money. I had no idea what old man Stalzer was talking about. But you know what? Don is exactly right. The camera, on occasion, should do this. Like you're sitting at the game. You don't jump from behind home plate out to center field over to first base in the course of one pitch. Why not just, here's the windup in the pitch, and let the camera pan back, is that the right phrase, and just observe the whole thing. You have to camera 3, camera 2, camera 4, which is great most of the time. But on occasion, just let it go. Tell you what, everyone on hold, we're going to get right back to you from my friends at Brown's. Hey, not only the Italian beef, the Italian sausage. Put them together, call it a combo, lunchtime at Brown's. But the brand new, delicious Primo Pasta Bowls at Brown's. They're cooked fresh to order. There's 3 different varieties. You're going to love them. Check out the Primo Pasta Bowls at Brown's. Southwestern-style macaroni and cheese. How about bold, my favorite, fire-roasted tomato pesto pasta. Can you say that real fast? Pesto pasta. Or the creamy Parmesan Alfredo with Italian sausage. You also get the fresh baked garlic breadstick. It's only $5. And you know at Brown's, it tastes better. Murphapalooza. Back in a flash on Sports Radio 670 The Score. Hey, big plant operations, facility operations managers, thetowngroup.com. They do it right. The white trucks, the red stripes, these are the big heating, air conditioning, piping, chiller jobs, sophisticated HVAC mechanicals. Thetowngroup.com. They do it right. And they have yearly service programs to help you save money. Thetowngroup.com. Head 'em out.
Don't try to understand.
Throw 'em.
Just roll Brando and Brando. Soon we'll be living high and wild.
I don't know what his beef is.
Welcome back. Second round of phone calls. What's your beef? Brought to you by my friends at Brown's. It tastes better. Hey, when money's tight, Brown's. Why? 3 words. Well, you know the 3 words. It tastes better. But the other 3 words over at Brown's, when money's tight, Brown's. Why? 3 words. Value, quality, consistency at Brown's. Lunchtime beefs and Brown's, dinner, chicken. Telephone Brett on the score is next. Hello, Brett.
Hey, Murph, what's happening?
Hey, what's your beef, Brett?
My beef is the Cubs' off-season moves.
All right.
You know, dumping DeRosa to get 3 minor league pitchers. The Marquee deal I was okay with, but freeing up payroll to sign Bradley, I think the Cubs would have been better off keeping DeRosa as it was last year for the chemistry.
All right. Hey, Brett, I appreciate it very much, buddy. Well, you go 9-9 with everybody hurt. You better be ready. You better be ready at Clark and Addison if you go 9-9 with half the team banged up. Remember the last 3 games of October? Edmonds was in center field, and Fukudome was in right field, and neither of them could hit the ball out of the infield. Let's go next to,
Hey, Murph.
Yeah, Jay, I'm very busy.
What's your beef?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. You know what? The straight doubleheaders.
The straight doubleheaders?
I miss them. The whip just reminded me. How about once a year, every team is required to schedule a regular good old straight, not a split, not a day-night where you got to buy 2 tickets to go to the 2 games. A regular one. I know. You need the 81 games to sell 81 tickets to pay for the payrolls. I understand all that. Can't you just one time, maybe Bud Selig, Bud, one time say, hey, we're going to make sure that every team has a straight double header one time a year.
Bud Selig declined to talk to us.
Actually, the better idea would be double headers every other Sunday for every team, and then you get the Monday off, and you get the season done maybe a little bit earlier. And no, that makes too much sense. Naperville Mike is on the score. Hello, Michael.
Where you been, Murph?
Where have I been? Right here. Where have you been?
Oh, sitting on my big butt drinking pints at Quigley's, but that's a different story.
I'm going to take your word for it. I'm not going to come and look.
Hey, my beef is with the quality of the NBA coaching throughout this league, and obviously we're getting hit the hardest with it right here in Chicago. But to watch these teams run the same offensive plays over and over, and listen to the commentators say how the teams can't make up and fix it and stop them. I mean, somebody take out a piece of paper and draw something up. Bell Harris, wake up somebody.
You know what's interesting? You raise a great point. Now, old man Stalzer, when I was a kid, he said it's always about the money. Think about what you just said, and you're right. You have a lot of, unqualified or rookie, call them what you wish, coaches. Now look at the guys that are available, but they're making more money evidently on TV. You got Doug Collins, you got Mike Fratello, you got Van Gundy. All these guys could be the guy you're talking about, right?
Absolutely, but they don't want to coach these guys who come up now. I mean, you got to deal with Tyrus Thomas. Oh, my Lord.
Plus, they're making more dough doing the TV gig, I bet.
I bet. Hey, Murph,
Hang on. You're going to go visit my friends at Browns. Nicely done. Hang on, Mike. Send Naperville Mike on over to Brown. You know what you should do? Go to brownschicken.com and check out their preferred customer club. Sign up, and you will get automatic email notices of news from Browns, special offers. Cool. Instant access to downloadable coupons, print and use at your neighborhood Browns. And as a preferred customer club member at Browns, you get exclusive offers going only to the club members. That would be you. Let's go to Jim from Skokie. Hello, James.
How you doing there, Murph?
Good. What's your beef?
You know, Murph, I think you and I are old Cub fans, and you know what kills me with Major League Baseball is there's no dedication to the team no more.
By whom? What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know what kills me, Murph? Everybody throws the few bucks in front of everybody, and, they're with the free agency and this and that. I don't know who I'm cheering for, Murph, anymore. I grew up with Sano, Kessinger, Beckard, and Banks.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? Ernie Banks was underpaid for about, his whole career because he never had the ability to be a free agent. So I know what you're saying, but I don't know that it was also fair to have the same player play for the same team his entire career without another team maybe making him an offer. So I don't know the solution, but I wish those old days returned. I wish it was still $1 also to get into the bleachers, and the newspaper cost 7 cents.
Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub, a man who spent his entire career with one club.
Loyalty is everything, Arliss.
Then I went to Toronto. Then I came to the Twins. And then I went to Cleveland.
Man, I wish we had free agency when I played.
Why? You would have left Chicago?
No, but I'd have taken a whole lot more of Mr. Wrigley's money.
Let's go to, thank you, Jay Zawaski. I haven't heard that in a long time. Aaron from Dubuque, Iowa. Hello, Aaron.
Hey, Murph. Long time, first time.
Hey, thank you. What's your beef?
My beef is with all the fickle Cub fans that are ready to dive off the ship already after 18 games.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's say they split the next 2 games in Arizona. They'll be 10-10. I can do that math, right?
Sure.
All right, 10-10. Now, think about the NFL. I do this on occasion, and you've brought the horse to the water. I'm the horse. I'm going to lap up the water. Aaron, you play 16 games in the NFL, correct?
Oh, of course.
All right, you play roughly 160 games in baseball. 162. Work with me. You play about 160 in baseball, right?
Right.
16 football times 10 equals 160, right?
Right.
So that means each football game is worth 10 baseball games if you want to look at it that way, right?
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Well, here's where I'm going. In 2 more days, the Cubs could be 10-10, right?
Right.
That would be as if the Bears were 1-1 after 2 games, right?
Right.
Now, would you be going as crazy like you're pointing out? These Cub fans are ready to jump off the Hancock building. If you were 1-1, would you be freaking out as much?
Not at all.
Well, there you go.
Here's why. To stick with the NFL, to quote Denny Green, they are who we thought they were. I mean, we knew the guys were going to spend some time on the DL. We knew Kevin Gregg isn't Kerry Wood.
Hey, how about... Whoa. I'm glad you brought Kerry Wood up. By the way, you're bucking to be a winner here next time you're in Chicago. You're going to Browns. I can tell you that already, Aaron. Check out Kerry. Check out the Indians box score when you get a few minutes later today from last night.
Oh, I watch it because
what happened? What happened last night?
I haven't been in front of a paper yet today, so.
Okay. Kerry Wood gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th inning. But you know what? He could have done that with the Cubs also.
Nobody's perfect, Murph.
There you go. Thank you very much. Hey, Aaron, hang on, buddy. Next time you're in Chicago, visit my friends at Browns. It tastes better. Jay, do I have time for a couple more callers? They've been holding.
Couple more. Get to them quick.
All right, okay. Let's go to Car Phone Day. By the way, you sounded great last night, Jay. So I go to all your the Blackhawk after game show.
Thank you.
I finally, about midnight, threw in the towel. What were you on until about 4 a.m.? You just kept going, right?
No, I was
How with Dan Patrick?
Yeah, 4 a.m.
How with that religious guy that comes on? No more drinking that guy afterwards. You just stayed right on. You commandeered the station, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Did you get any sleep?
A couple hours.
You look good.
No, I don't.
It'll hit you like hell later tonight.
Yeah, I will.
Let's go to Car Phone David on the score. Hey, David.
Hey, Murph. My beef is with a certain baseball manager, Lou Piniella.
Oh, that's very clever for Tool of the Week early. Okay, I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
Okay, my beef is that he doesn't know how to fill out a lineup, and he continues to bat Derek Lee in the 3-hole when he had every opportunity at the beginning of this season to move Derek Lee down in the order where he belongs.
Well, you know what it is, David? You're 90% correct, but your first statement, Lou does not know how to make a lineup, I think you want to change. Oh, you want to augment that to Lou knows how to make out a lineup. He's just afraid to do it. Sinbad is my final. Hey, Sinbad, how are you?
All right, how you doing, Mark?
Well, good. I hate to say, but it says on the screen you're on the Eisenhower. I know you've been holding. You're probably somewhere up in Wisconsin by now. You've been holding. I'm sorry about that, buddy.
No, not that far.
Okay.
But my beef is with certain basketball players who, after a 1-1 tie on the road, come home to your home court and lay a goose egg, and then after the game you had the nerve to say that we didn't come to play. How could you not come to play? I don't want to hear that. Tell me that the shots wouldn't go down. Anything, but don't tell me you didn't come to play.
And then when you do make the big basket, you can on national TV grab yourself where you're not supposed to grab yourself also.
Exactly.
Hey, Dad, thank you, buddy. Thank you as always. All right, appreciate it. Raucous. Effervescent. What's your beef? Visit my friends at Browns. Find the nearest location, brownschicken.com.
Thanks for participating in What's Your Beef. Join Murph for another edition of What's Your Beef. What's Your Beef has been brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering and BrownsChicken.com. All winners of the Mike Murphy Show are only eligible to win prizes once in a 60-day period.
Read the fine print. Hey, when we return, I got a little sound by Brian Hanley. Checked in about an hour and a half ago with Hamp and Holmes from our morning show, Mully and Haley. Brian's on the road with the Bulls. He's in Boston, and he had the exclusive right up to the minute update on Ben Gordon. We'll give you that report when we return. It's a score. I'm waving my red flag right now. Well, the red towel, not waving the red flag. waving a Blackhawk red towel. Hey, let me hear that Bulls music there, Jay Zawoski. All right. Text me right now at 67011. U.S. Cellular is our sponsor for All Score texting, powered by U.S. Cellular. Text me right now, please, 67011. Yes or no? Can the Bulls win tonight without Ben Gordon? Very simple. Right to the point. Yes or no? 67011. Can the Bulls win tonight at Boston without Ben Gordon? Brian Hanley from the Mully and Hanley Show and the Sun-Times is in Boston covering the Bulls a couple hours ago on Hampton Homes. Brian Hanley checked in with a status update on the injury to BG. Brian?
I don't think it's gamesmanship. He said it's grade 2 strain. He didn't do anything in shoot around. He just watched. Ben Gordon doesn't normally play games, so he didn't sound encouraging. He said, asked how it felt, not good. Did it get any worse? No, but didn't get any better. Still very sore. Still taking treatment, game time decision, and he's going to get more treatment, which has been electronic stimulation, pills, ice, the whole bit. And but he sure didn't seem encouraged that he was going to go tonight.
Thanks, Brian. Courtesy of Hampton Homes. Can the Bulls win tonight without Ben Gordon? 67011, yes or no? And how about the Blackhawks last night? I hope you're able to stay up and watch it. How exciting was that? 4-1 over Calgary. And the star of the game, Hobby Boolin, standing on his head. Some of the stats, some of the numbers, unbelievable.
Conroy takes a look. The shot into the glove of Hobby Boolin, who almost made it look easy.
Oh, boy. That thing's looking like a football coming at him. He is seeing everything. He just has that feel and that look, Pat. Hobby Boolin.
Does he ever?
You know what? You could throw 2 pucks out there right now and shoot them at the same time, and I'm going to get them both. Trust me, I played with him for 3.5 years. I know exactly that look and exactly that feel. Doesn't matter where you are on the rink. It's not going to go by him.
Well, he talked about it before Game 5 after a couple of subpar performances in this rink in Games 3 and 4. He said, hey, I've been around long enough. It's happened to me before. I've had average games before. And you just have to have a short memory. And, well, ever since those 2 games in this rink, he was pretty good in Game 5 when needed, and he has been great tonight, and he has been needed as the second period comes to an end. Now, Eddie, the Flames, who needed to win that period, outshot the Hawks 17-4, and they lost the period because of that guy right there.
Great job as always, Pat Foley, Eddie Olczyk, Comcast Sportsnet. Oh, the song sounds even better today.
Here come the Hawks, the mighty
Murph till 2.
Take the attack, yeah, and we'll back you Blackhawks. You're flying high now, so let's wrap it up. Let's go, you Hawks. Move on, now on the top. Here come the Hawks.
Murph, driven to you by ChevyDriveChicago.com. Open up the phones when we get back. Bulls and Blackhawks.
Here they come, moving, weaving, flying high and throwing straight.
This is great, Jay. You never hear this part. Let it rock.
Crashing, crying for the play. And the Blackhawks take control.
Here's my favorite part.
There's a shot and a goal.
644-6767. Bulls fans, can you win tonight without Ben Gordon? Blackhawk fans going to round 2 versus Vancouver.
Here come the Hawks, the mighty Blackhawks. Take the attack, yeah, and we'll back you Blackhawks.
Thank you very much, Brian. Beautiful day in Chicago, a little cloudy. At least it stopped raining. Heading into town. This is Hour of the Score brought to you by Menards. Let's do this. We're a little bit structured. The first hour had a great hour with John DeWan, Rocky Wirtz, What's Your Beef? But let's be a little unstructured right now. Fans talking to fans. Straight hour of fan talk. Guest-free phones. If you want to beat the crowd, I suggest you dial quickly 644-6767. I want to ask Bulls fans. All right, now, the numbers are staying consistent. We have over 1,000 votes real quicker. The numbers are still tabulating in front of me, but 44% of Bulls fans have said, yes, the Bulls can win tonight without Ben Gordon. And 56% of you go, nah, no way, Jose.
Yeah, and just so you know, we got the vote doubled during the update when you promoted it again, and the numbers stayed exactly the same.
Wow, so now we're up to 2,000 votes, which is and consistent. So here's what I want to ask now. All right, that is the end of that text question. If you said yes, the Bulls can win tonight without Ben Gordon in playing, without him in the game, without him suiting up, how do they do it? Who is the star of the game tonight? How do the Bulls win without Ben Gordon? Want to hear from you, 644-6767. And Blackhawks fans, I want to ask you a question. Remember the famous Mike Ditka statement down in the locker room with the New Orleans Saints?
I think we became a team today. We became a team.
We became a team today. Who doesn't love the coach? Give me that once more.
I think we became a team today. We became a team.
All right. Blackhawks, thank you, Coach. You can leave now. Blackhawks fans, when did the Hawks become a team this year? Maybe you can pinpoint a specific game, a specific move. Perhaps you can say, well, you know, when Coach Quenneville came in. Or who was the guy with the Hawks that really made this thing work? What made the Hawks become a team? When did they become a team? 64467.
I think we became a team today.
That's right.
We became a team.
667. And Cub fans, I want to ask you a little something about your catcher, Gio Soto. Are you worried about the shoulder? Now, they ran all night, the D-backs. Would they steal 5 bases last night or whatever? They were running all night. You know what? They might have been running on the pitcher. You know enough about baseball. Running on Lilly, running on Patton, or is he not getting that throw down to second base? Is it also affect now? Is Soto not hitting because he is, you know, worried about his shoulder, or is he just in a slump? And let me ask you this: why would you not? You be Lou Piniella. Why are you not starting Coy Hill every day? He's got a 5-game hitting streak. He has 3-game winning RBIs, which they don't count as a stat anymore, but he does. Why would you not just play Lou Piniella, Coy Hill, every day until he takes the collar and goes 0 for 4? And White Sox fans, I'll just bring this up again. Why is Gordon Beckham playing shortstop at AA? Because that's where he's going to play in the big leagues. So what does that do with X-Ram? What does that do with the... Jay, that was your nickname. I like that.
X-Ram?
Alexei.
Yeah, I like X-Ram.
You go, Murph, X-Ram. Why is X-Ram the guy that's being moved off shortstop? Gordon Beckham, there's only one reason he's a shortstop at AA, because that's where he's going to play in the big leagues. Let's go to the phones. Lyons, Illinois on Ogden Avenue. Hello, Robert.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good. Hey, Robert, we got a lot of topics here, but you want to talk Bulls, I understand.
Yes. Number one Bulls fan.
Well, great. Ben Gordon. How do you read this tonight? If he is dinged up, would you be better off just resting him tonight and then going after Game 6 and Game 7? What do you see with Ben Gordon tonight?
Well, you have to rest Ben Gordon because he's your ace up your sleeve.
Right.
So with him out of the lineup, I expect the game to be a low-scoring game.
All right.
Having Heinrich in there, I want to see him guard
Allen.
Yeah, chase Allen around, and Salmon's on Pierce.
Right.
And with the defense, I think since the pressure is now on Boston, because this is not an elimination game. This game's all on Boston to win at home to try to finish off the Bulls. But I think with that added pressure and the Bulls stepping up on defense with Gordon out, they might get tired towards the end of the game and then probably see Rose or Heinrich make the difference. So I see the Bulls winning 88-79, something like that.
Well, Robert, the younger legs of the Bulls, you're saying, might play well with 3 games in 5 days. Off the top of my head, 3 games in 5 or 6 days. Now, so you are one of the 44%ers that are saying, yes, the Bulls can win this game even without Ben Gordon tonight.
Yes, I expect John Salmons to have a better game because that groin injury, I think it's going away. I think he's getting a lot better. He's progressing a little by little, but I think tonight he's going to step it up even more to pick up for, in case Van Gordon is not in the game,
all right,
he'll pick up his scoring.
So your star of the game tonight would be John Salmons, and he's going to be checking Paul Pierce. Great job, Robert. Hey, thanks for the call. Phone again, all right?
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, my friend. Vuk is on your side. You know, everybody knows Jeff Vukovich. Someday you will also. Vuk in Park Ridge, Murph's nationwide insurance agent of the year for all your insurance needs. Just go Vuk! Let's go to Homewood. Chris is on the score. Hey, Chris. I hit the wrong button. I get jigget finger there. There we go. Hey, Homewood Chris, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, Chris, you remember when Mike Ditka made the famous "We became a team today" statement, right?
Yeah, it wasn't old, but I remember it.
Oh, well, here it is.
I think we became a team today. We became a team.
All right, Chris, the Blackhawks, when did they, become a team?
I'm going to say last year when they got knocked out of the regular season, when they ended their season just a point or two early.
And you think that gave the young kids an incentive, a little taste for it, and the disappointment that they said, we don't want that happening again?
I think sometimes the disappointment pulls you together better than a victory.
There's always the group that says, boy, you're better off getting the draft, be it Bulls or the Blackhawks or the Bears. Oh, you're better off getting a higher draft pick than being in the playoffs. You realize now as a fan, I think, like I do, Chris, that couldn't be more incorrect. The experience plus the thrill of being in the playoffs, it has to mount and build year upon year for these guys as far as their confidence.
I agree.
Thank you, buddy, except for the Cubs 2 years ago. Didn't help a bit. Remember Jay Zawaski in October last year against the Dodgers? Edmonds was playing, and Fukudome was playing, right? Correct?
I had October erased from my memory.
But, I mean,
yeah.
Because Reed Johnson never played.
No, not at all.
So that was Edmonds all 3 games.
Yep.
And Fuki, who couldn't at that time get the ball out of the infield.
Right.
So what's Jim Hendry supposed to do, bring them both back? Did you check out the Indians' box score? It wasn't pretty last night.
No, it
now, it's interesting.
Did not look good.
Yesterday was the first day for the Cubs that they could have used a guy, don't get me wrong, like a Mark DeRosa who has some third base experience. See, they knew with the 25-man roster and with the 12 pitchers you got to carry nowadays that you're going to be short somewhere. Every National League team is. So you're hoping that Ramirez wouldn't go down in April or May, and you can maybe get about 45 games out of him in a row. Fontenot, not so hot at third. But it didn't help that what's Alan Trammell doing last night? Isn't he the guy that's supposed to wave the infielders around and position them? Bases loaded, 2 out. Dan Herron, the pitcher for the Diamondbacks, comes up. And what happens? He hits the old Baltimore chop, one hopper over Fontenot at third base. Turns out Fontenot, and I wasn't playing up in cutting off the run at the plate or in for a bunt, but he was playing in line with second and third base, playing up, not back. And, Bob Brenly may know a little bit about the game.
Over Fontenot, fair ball, and the Diamondbacks will get at least 2. Reynolds in, Upton scores. Snyder stops at third. Dan Herron just pounded that ball down, and it went over Mike Fontenot at third base. And Arizona now leads 3-1.
Not sure why Mike Fontenot was playing as shallow as he was down there at third base. Slider in on the hands of Dan Herron. As you mentioned, he pounded it down off that hard dirt. Fontenot was only playing about 1 step behind the base down there at third. If Dan Herron tries to bunt for a base hit with the bases loaded, I've got enough faith that Ted Lilly will get over there and make the play. He really limited his range by playing as shallow as he did down there at third base.
See, Lilly didn't pitch a bad game at all. Look at the box score. Oh, man, he got his ears pinned back. He got tattooed. No, he didn't get tattooed at all. Let's go to Joe on this, but the numbers don't lie. Southside Joe on the score. Hey, Joe.
Murph, how you doing?
Fine, Joe. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to tell you when I think the Hawks became a team.
All right.
Hopefully they don't follow Ditka's lead because the Saints went down the tank after he made that speech anyway.
Yes, they did.
But I'll tell you, I think there's 2 parts to this. Number 1, in December when they had that 9-game winning streak is the first part. I think they, realized that, hey, we could do this.
Yeah.
This this something we could do? The coaching situation settled down by that point. And then the other part, which I think was real big, was that losing streak. Before that, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hobby Bullen and Sharp's injuries in February. They survived that. Those are two big, at the time, Sharp's your leading goal scorer. Hobby Bullen's your top goalie. And at that time, they lost, 2 out of their best 5 players.
So they had depth?
They had depth.
And the guys on the bench all had to move up a notch. The third liner was the second liner. Your second string goalie, Huey, was your first guy. And it gave them all a little taste. How about the back-to-back losses to Detroit on December 31st and then the classic January 1st? That, I believe, in the long run, this is going to sound crazy, I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call that maybe slapped them in the face a little bit.
It woke them up only due to the fact that, okay, we want to be like Detroit. This is what we have to do to be like Detroit.
Bingo.
But they also survived, after the injuries, they survived the losing streak in March, and they still got that 4th seed, which is what they wanted.
Right.
And those 3 occurrences basically grew them. A, B to C. They win the series. I don't think they win the series if they don't go through those growing pains during the year.
Nicely done.
Congratulations. You've just been named
Hang on, Joe.
Brown's Chicken Caller of the Show.
Hey, Joe, go visit my friends at Brown's. You're my call on the show, okay, buddy?
Appreciate it, Murph. Have a great day. Isn't it nice being a Cubs fan that we finally have a team that wins the playoff series?
Hey, Joe, I'm in a good mood. Hang on, buddy.
Okay.
They always going to give it a little dig. They got Southside Joe with a little shot right there. Shot in the goal. He's a shot in the beer. Back in the flash, Murphapalooza, Sports Radio 670. Everybody on hold. We'll get right to you. I'm driven to you by Chevy. DriveChicago.com.
The last time the Blackhawks won a playoff series was against the Calgary Flames in the first round of 1996. And remember how it ended? With .08 remaining in the third period, Jeremy Roenick scored to send the game into extra time. And in the third overtime, Joe Murphy able to get the game winner to complete a 4-game sweep for the Blackhawks over the Flames. The last time Chicago won a playoff series, 1996.
Comcast Sportsnet. Every 13 years or so. Beautiful. Sox with a doubleheader. You'll hear it here on the Score. It'll be Cologne in Game 1, and then red hot Johnny Danks in Game 2. How about this? Danks has allowed just 2 runs in his last 19 innings. In fact, his 19 innings this season. 2 runs he's only allowed. His ERA 0.95, second best in the American League. And tonight, Zambrano trying to halt the Cubs, 4 out of 5 losing streak. But if the Cubs just split the last 2 games, as I've been saying, in Arizona, they'll be 10-10 on the year. Not bad for a team with 4 injuries to 4 all-star key guys, and Soto, who either can't throw, can't hit, or both. Maybe Lou will put Zambrano in the 7-hole, Terrio 8th, Coyhill 9th. Then again, maybe the cow will jump over the moon. Thank you. Let's go next to, who's been holding the longest here, fellas? Northside John. Let's go. Hello, John.
Murph!
John!
How you doing there, buddy?
Okay, thank you, John.
Hey, Murph, I'm going to do this. How about this? I tell you this. I like Kurt Heinrich to start. I think he gives the Bulls a better chance to win.
Even if Gordon's okay, you mean?
No, I wouldn't start Gordon. And I'll tell you why. Gordon plays no defense. He's a jump shooter. I think Heinrich gives you the best chance. He can guard. He can not only guard Allen, but he can guard Pierce. I think he can give you about 14 points, okay? And I think Derrick Rose can get the rest of the team involved. But how about this?
Yeah.
How about, I would even go one more. How about we bench Noah? I would bring Noah off the bench and put Miller in the start line, only because his body does not, Kendrick Perkins is abusing him down low.
You would start Brad Miller.
I would start Brad Miller just for a little more physical, some more beef in that starting lineup there, Murph.
John, let me ask you this. I like your angle. Remember in the old days when you'd, hack a shack, you'd get 6 fouls, you have 3 centers, you get like 18 fouls or whatever. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Aaron Gray, I know he's a plotter. He doesn't do much, but why don't they bring him in every once in a while just to start hammering a few guys? Get 2-3 fouls out of him just to clear it up underneath there a little bit. Let him know we got a guy.
Hey, I also think so too, Murph.
Yeah.
Murph, one last thing.
Yes, sir.
People are so down on Tyrus Thomas. You know what, Murph? I tell you this. This kid is going to be an absolute monster. Okay, he's got a great upside to him. I know he's made a lot of dumb plays, but he's still young. He is going to be a beast. He's going to probably be maybe one of the best top power forwards in the Eastern Conference, Murph. And I just think he just needs a coach. And I just wanted to hear your opinion on what you actually think about this guy as a player.
I think you and I might be out of step, Charlie, but that's okay. I like Tyrus Thomas. He's got a terrific upside. But you see, what's the old expression, John? What you see is what you get.
Yeah,
People, fans want everyone to be an all-star. Everyone can't be an all-star in the first 2 or 3 years. I'm not projecting him to be an all-star, but I'll tell you this, if they traded him, he'd be an all-star with someone else. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, Murph, what is your prediction tonight? What do you think is going to happen tonight? Honestly.
I predict they're going to lose tonight. They're going to win Game 6. And if they go back to Boston, I think Boston's going to get the tight collar. I got the Bulls in 7. Swami Murph. I predict. Thank you very much, John. Jay, we're rolling. I got more phone calls. We got to catch up on a few things right here.
Yeah, we'll get everybody on, though. We'll get everybody in.
All right, Jay. You're up to what, 4? You're on the air. You commandeered the radio station last night. I went to bed. You were still on.
Yep. I was on pretty late.
What, you go all the way to 5 a.m. to the beginning of the Mully and Haley show, right?
Yeah, we'll say that. That's fine.
Your life in the world of sports. We didn't have it. You had you instead of him last night. I like that guy. Hey, This Thursday, that would be day after tomorrow, Planters Big Nut Bars invite you to join the score as we crown 2009's Chicago sports biggest nut right over there at Shula's Joe's Ale House. Great place in Rosemont. 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. this Thursday. Broadcasting live. It's starting with Hampton Holmes, then little old Murph, and we will announce the winner during the Boers and Bernstein show. Someone will be walking away a winner of a trip for 2 from Apple Vacations to Rio Palace, Macau for 2 from my Apple Vacations. It's in Punta Cana, the DR, Dominican Republic. First 100 people to show up also will receive, a $10 gift certificate to use at Shula's Joe's. First come, first served basis, 1 gift certificate per person. It's the score. If you're on hold, I'll get right back to you. Work out the Sox lineup for Game 2 also when we come back. Hey, you know what I wanted to ask you?
Yeah.
The White Sox start their games, the evening game, at 7-Eleven.
Yes.
But did you notice something interesting? It's not a sponsor anymore. To the best of my knowledge.
I didn't know that it wasn't a sponsor. I figured the only reason they would still do it would be because it was a sponsor, so I didn't know that.
To the best of my knowledge. Because it used to be the game time 7-Eleven, Farmio proclaiming, and brought to you by our friends at da-da-da. Now, I don't hear that brought to our friends at da-da-da, but it's still, so why is it still at 7-Eleven?
A great question.
Why isn't it back at 7:05 where it belongs?
I will tell you one thing, though, real quick. From a fan's perspective who goes to some of these games at 7-Eleven, I can't tell you the number of times I've arrived at the ballpark between 7:05 and 7:11. I still make the first pitch when I otherwise wouldn't have.
6 minutes means a lot.
It's very valuable. That's all I'm saying.
My guess, they were surprised when the sponsor backed out, and it was too late by MLB to change it.
Already printed on the schedule.
That's just my guess.
Very good
What do I know?
Murph.
I'm just a fan. Thank you, King, Whip, Peruk. He's got a lot of names. Love him. Let's go to the phones, and we're talking Bulls and Blackhawks. Can the Bulls win tonight without Ben Gordon? 44% of you have said yes. If they do win, how do they do it? Well, John Selmans is going to step up big, and Blackhawks fans, when did the Hawks really become a team?
I think we became a team today.
Yes, Coach. Let's bring in Steve from Decatur. Hello, Steve.
Hey, how you doing, Murph?
Fine. Welcome to the score.
All right, long time. I'm back in the morning show.
My God.
You're reworking your stick, right? So I'm thinking the Limerick Lounge.
Well, the
I think
Limerick
Lounge should make a comeback.
It's buried 6 feet under, and it would be hard to exhume it, if you know what I mean.
Okay. My take on it is when the team, as a team, the whole team, went to the funeral for Dale Talon's father.
Wow.
See, I'm thinking, you can say this I'll cover you. I'm your man. I'm there for you.
Well,
it was until you actually do it.
To bring the team together, and it was a terrific tribute for a wonderful guy, Dale Talon. Hey, great to hear from you in Decatur. Thank you, Steve.
Okay, thanks.
All right, let's go next to Carphone John on the score. Hello, Johnson.
Hello, Murph. Say, first let me say that you are the class of Chicago sports radio hosts.
Well, from noon to 2 on the score, I win by default, but thank you for the kind words.
No, you're exceedingly knowledgeable, but your attitude with the callers is never condescending. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Tonight, why the Bulls might win, and I say might.
Yes.
Ben Gordon, and here's my question about Ben Gordon. What does he give up? What does he give up per game in turnovers, in poor possessions, and in defense? That's the number you have to make up to cover him. He's exciting. They said, they wouldn't have been in Game 4 without him. Go 2 or 3 possessions before the end of the game, and it was unfortunately a typical BG possession that we don't talk about.
Well, where right. But, here's the thing. As long as you know what you got with him, he's going to, in the long run, he's going to nail some big shots. He's going to win some games for you. He's going to break your heart. They have the plus and minus with Jay Zawaski. He's going to look up for us here, John, sort of like they did in hockey for all those years. How many points do you or do you not have your team score or give up when you're on the floor? And tell you what, Jay, see if they do that for the series up till now. We'll pull that number. It's not a... catch-all number, but it's a little guidance for us. We'll do that. John, I appreciate the call. Let's go next to North Side Dexter. Hello, Dex.
Hello, how's it going today, Murph?
Good, Dexter.
I'm here to talk about the Bulls and the one guy nobody's even thought about off that bench.
Let's see. Hold on. Tim Thomas.
Yup. Playoff experience. Has hit big shots. If Ben Gordon's not going to play, he gives you bigger size. Just like Ben Gordon. He's just a bigger Ben Gordon.
You know what, Dexter? Let me jump in with you. Stay on the line. I don't have the soundbite, but in Game 3, Stacey King said on Comcast, I really don't understand why he wasn't criticizing Vinny Del Negro, but he said, I don't understand why we're not seeing a little more of Tim Thomas, in this series. And you agree, it sounds like.
Yeah, because this is the perfect time. You're going on the road. Your best scorer might not play. You need somebody that's going to be completely cool to the situation, to step in and not be afraid to take the big shots. And that's Tim Thomas. I remember when he beat Kobe in L.A. with the Suns.
Oh, that's right. So if Ben Gordon does not play tonight due to the leg injury, you're saying, you know what? Maybe not star of the game, but you're saying the guy that's going to step in there and then take some of those minutes is going to keep an eye on Tim Thomas, right?
Tim Thomas.
Nicely done, Dexter.
This is the type of game where you're going to play more defensive. You're going to try to grind it out, and you're going to need somebody at the end of the third, early in the fourth quarter, when you have a young Derrick Rose a little tense, you have not a great shooter in Kurt Heinrich, to come in and hit those big shots, look at everybody and be like, we're going to win tonight.
Hey, Dexter, I want to hear from you tomorrow or Thursday or Friday. Let's keep talking Bulls, you and me.
No problem. I'll be back on.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any luck there, Jay Zawaski?
Yeah, Nick's bringing India right here. He's handing it right to you.
Beautiful.
There you go.
All these numbers. I can't read all these numbers. Do you have what do we got here? Bulls plus minus for the playoffs so far. Oh, yeah. Now, John Dewan mentioned Brad Miller is far and away the leader at plus 35. The Bulls scored 35 more points when he's playing than they give up. Next is, there's a few of the bench guys of garbage time. But at the bottom is Joakim Noah, a minus 58 compared to Brad Miller's plus 35. And I know you can manipulate these numbers. A lot has to do against the first team, the second team. But Brad Miller, last game, was in there at the crunch time, into the first half, into the second half, overtime in the exciting double OT. And he had the big plus also. But who are we looking for here? We're looking for...
Ben Gordon is minus 11 in the series so far.
Right. But here's what's interesting. The lowest 5 guys are the 5 starters. Noah, Salmons, Thomas, Rose, and Gordon. So the 5 worst Bulls roster on the plus-minus is the starters. Let's go next to, I don't know what that means, but it's very surprising. Hey, but before we sign off at 2 o'clock, Jay, try to dig up some of the old Lloyd Pettit, Blackhawks, from the 1971 Stanley Cup. It was right here, I believe, on the old 67 on WMAQ in the old days. Let's go to Carphone Billy on the score. Hello, Billy.
Hey, how you doing, Murph?
Good. What you got?
Hey, you look pretty satisfied in that picture when you're eating at Salerno's on Grand Avenue.
Oh, I tell you what, there's nothing like Salerno's.
I had to call you.
Yeah, you saw my guys over there, all the guys at Salerno. Well, thank you. I stopped in there and they asked for the picture. They were very nice to promptly put it right there, and probably scares a lot of customers away.
Looked like you were satisfied. Anyhow, with Gordon, obviously, there's a lot of ways you can go. The defense, obviously, as everyone knows, it's soft, I mean, he looks like a matador. He's getting out of the way.
But let me ask you, do you expect that to change?
The only way that's going to change, quite frankly, is if maybe you go up to UConn and find that young lady that he kicked down the...
Allegedly. Let's go to... See, players don't just change. Players don't just change. They don't just change. He's all of a sudden not going to start playing different defense.
What?
He's not all of a sudden going to stop shooting. Let's go to Carphone Brad on this score. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Murph. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Hey, I know Chicago's pounding the Kool-Aid, but the Bulls are going to get their doors blown off today.
With or without Gordon?
Either.
Okay.
First of all,
so then why? Then don't even play the game. Look at all the money they're going to waste on a hotel and airplane.
You might as well not. Rajon Rondo's got two triple doubles playing against the Bulls because they can't figure out how to cover a point guard.
Yeah, I don't think we should even watch the game or talk about it.
I don't think so. I think we should just start talking about the Cubs.
Thank you very much, Brad. This is how the score brought to you by Menards. Hey, when we come back, Jay, let's play a little for all you youngsters that want to hear about the old days, or your old timers that want to remember when the Blackhawks were actually in the postseason. A guy named Lloyd Pettit. We'll replay a little hunk of Blackhawks from 1971, right? Sports Radio 670. It's Murph back in a flash. Hey, we know it's a jungle out there. Let Illinois Paper and Copier reduce your monthly copier costs with Rico and Konica Minolta Copiers and Supplies. Call Matt today at 630-679-9090. All right, Murph on the home stretch. Did you find it, Jay Zawoski? Some of the old cuts we have there?
Yeah, we got a lot of it, actually.
All right, let's go first back to 1971. Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup. And I'm pretty sure it was on old 670 right here. Here's the famous, if you've ever heard of him. Here he is, Lloyd Pettit, setting it up for you.
Yes, it's Chicago Blackhawk hockey time. Live and direct from the Forum in Montreal. We bring you the swift action, the rugged excitement, and the tense competition of the Stanley Cup Finals. This is Lloyd Pettit with Harvey Wittenberg, and we'll be bringing you the instant action as well as instant replays of the big action in today's game, the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Montreal Canadiens. This program comes to you through the courtesy of Arthur M. Wirtz and the Chicago Blackhawks. I'll be right back to briefly set the stage for the rest of this afternoon's game in just 1 minute.
Lloyd Pettit there at the Montreal Forum, the Canadiens. Now, do we have that commercial? Jay's got this hokey commercial for Garage World where you can have your kids playing out in their rock and roll band. Let's hear the commercial now.
You want 10 good reasons to buy a Republic Garage? 1, to protect your car, but everybody knows that. 2, to store things like the barbecue and lawnmower. 3, for the workshop you've always wanted. 4, for the kids to hold rock parties in. 5, it'll save you money on car repairs or the new garden furniture you won't need. 6, it increases the resale value of your home. 7, Republic has 31 different garage styles that will complement the architecture of your home. 8, you get quality features like Republic's exclusive wood laminated beams at no extra cost.
Sweet.
9, because only Republic lets you build a garage 3 ways. And 10, because nobody builds a garage like Republic, and Republic builds them better for less. If 10 reasons don't convince you, here's an 11th. Right now, during Republic's anniversary celebration, you get your choice of gifts like a redwood picnic table set free when you buy a garage. Call 867-7000 for a free estimate, or visit the Republic Garage Center near you.
What's the area
Open
code,
daily
George?
till 9, Saturday and Sunday till 5.
Honey, we got to get a garage so the kids can have their rock band workout out in the lovely garage. All right, let's get in. We have some play-by-play, right? All right, 1971. Stanley Cup hockey, Lloyd Pettit, Blackhawks, and the Canadiens.
And the opening face-off won by the Canadiens. LaPerriere in the Canadian zone to the far side of LaPointe, back to the near side of the blue line of the Canadiens. LaPerriere being forechecked by Martin. Throws it off to the far board, and Houle takes a solid check from Bobby Hull as the puck is dumped down into the Chicago zone. Touched by Esposito to Bill White behind the net. And deflected into the far corner, and Pete Mahovlich bringing it back to the far point. The point man wasn't there, and LaPointe has it at center ice. He flips it back into the Hawk zone slowly off the near board. Bill White to Martin, to Bobby Hull on the far side at center ice. Bobby Hull leading to Martin over the blue line. He gets away from him. Pappen centering, broken up by LaPointe. Into the far corner, Bobby Hull, a shot. That's wide, comes into the near corner. Now Bill White throwing into Pappen. Pappen centering it back to the blue line. Here's Stapleton with a shot and deflected to the backboard. And Bobby Hull behind the net tries to center out in front to Martin, and he can't get his shot away. And picked up by Stapleton still inside the blue line. Around the near corner to the backboard, and Pappen centering it out right back to him. Out to Bill White. Bill White's shot deflected in front of backhanded by Pappen, and that's deflected away. And into the near corner, and the Canadiens regain possession and intentionally ice the puck.
Why are they booing that nice Bobby Hull? Lloyd Pettit. You can hear a little Pat Foley right there. Murph saying, thanks for listening, thanks for calling. Go Bullies. See you later, everybody.